So we go up to the start for another championship level final, the Silver Goblets and Nickalls Challenge Cup for elite men's coxless pairs. The route to the final there, you can see the Dutch pair beat the Danes yesterday, and the German pair beat the Irish pair in the semi-final. So we have Van Sprang and Krommenhoek from the Netherlands against Schmela and Hagemeister from Germany.
We just watched two crews there that are missing out on the Paris Olympic Games, and Nick Van Sprang and Krommenhoek also missed out at the qualification regatta. So it's going to be, once again, their last opportunity for this season, another peak and another event. And what a fantastic way. We've finally got blue skies in the background. Hopefully we get a wonderful race.
Yeah, Dutch, pretty strong favourites for this race, mate.
Yeah, they've got such experience over the last 8 years between them. I raced against Van Sprang multiple times in my career, and yeah, they've got.
Did he ever beat you?
Probably, I'm going to say yes, because we lost quite a lot actually between 2017 and 2021. But unfortunately, yeah, he had some pretty close calls through his career, missing out on qualification, missing out on A finals. So it would be nice to see. As you said, they're strong favourites, but anything can happen down this course.
I see that you are both straight and ready. I will start you like this. Attention, go.
So you heard the voice of the umpire there, just going through the traditional run over, letting the crews know how the umpire is going to start them. And both crews now get ready to race. Netherlands on the left of your screen, Germany on the right in the green bow. And I think the Dutch pair got 2 strokes in before the Germans got 1 stroke in, Mo.
Yeah, contrasting styles of the way you go off the blocks. The German crew much more gripped and steady, whereas the Dutch are spinning it up, trying to get their rate as quick as possible.
Yeah, so if anything, the Dutch pair on the left of your picture will confirm that when we get the shot at the end of the island, but Van Sprang and Krommenhoek should be up early doors in this race, and if the Germans are level with them, it'll be an amazing turnaround. But yeah, the Dutch are going into the end of the island with a half a length lead, Mo.
Yeah, half a length lead, but it's just 2 different styles. So going in long and strong in a pair might not mean your rate's going to go just as high. The Dutch will have more to come down to get onto their race rhythm. The Germans are probably going to slip into their race rhythm quite quickly, but it does look like the crew from the Netherlands are 2/3 of a length up.
Yeah, I love the way that Nicky Van Sprang rows in the bow seat. So on it, fantastic rowing. So it's Netherlands out in front on the far side and Germany on this near side. The green boat is coloured for their sponsors, Deutschland Achter, the big German boat. Their sponsors are green in colour. That's their sort of commercial logo, I guess you could say, and all the German team's boats for Deutschland Achter are coloured in green.
Yeah, you asked me a question about how many times I raced against Nicky Van Sprang, and I raced against the green boats many a time, and I saw them very briefly as they blasted off the starts, and then they just took the lead and kept marching through. So, but yeah, as a German sponsor, very well supported as a nation, the team. And this German crew here are doing very well to stay in touch at the moment with the Dutch crew. They're not letting them go, and that's the key through this middle part now we get on the rhythm. But it does look like the Dutch pair have just done a little push there as we get to the barrier marker.
So it's the Dutch on the right, this reverse angle shot, the Germans on the left. And I wonder if the Dutch coach, Roeiclub Blink, is a bit conflicted, because Thies Hagemeister, the stroke of the German crew, he's got dual Dutch German nationality. He rode for the Netherlands as an under-23. He rode with Finn Florijn, the 2-man in the Dutch quad who's preparing for the Olympic Games, in a pair. He rode in the Dutch and under-23A. Mo, guess who his coach was then?
Don't know.
Roeiclub Blink.
Oh.
The coach of this Dutch crew this year in the Olympic season. So that's a lovely little story, a little vignette just to sort of bookend this race. And Roeiclub Blink currently working with this Dutch crew on the right of your picture. They had a fantastic race in the final Olympic qualification regatta. They pulled 6:30, as did the 2 winners from Germany and Lithuania. It wasn't quite enough. But I tell you what, that's a decent row by the Germans to start off with, and I think they can hold their heads up high being this close to a strong favourite.
Yeah, we're just starting to get to a little bit of open water for the Dutch crew. You can see the lovely shots here from both crews from behind. The Dutch have a really nice, they've always had this really nice loose languid rhythm which just really gets out there. There's not that too much movement in the upper body and the boat just keeps moving. And like you said, Martin, they missed out agonizingly, so close. 3 boats all within under a second of each other. It's just, that's the heartbreak and also the joy that you can get at final qualification regatta. It's the last chance saloon, and it's so hard when you get it on the wrong side.
Yeah, it's interesting you talk about the rhythm, and you know, Diederik Simon, who the 8th coach, who of course coached many crews you raced against. I just wonder what's the difference between the way the British team row and the way Diederik Simon gets the Dutch team to row.
Well, I also raced against him, weirdly. So I raced against him in 2010 and 11 when he was coming back for the London Olympic Games. The Dutch have a very unique, every country, every nation we race on internationally has a very unique style. The British is maybe a little bit lower in rate, a little bit longer and a little bit more powerful. It's the length and distance per stroke is our mantra, and has been our mantra. Whether that's changed over the last few years, I'm not sure. The Dutch just have this really loose rhythm. The Aussies have a very unique style around the back, or did have a unique style around the back. Each nation will have their own little fingerprint, as our coach used to call it. Every nation has a fingerprint that you try to bind the crews together by. But the Dutch, they're just loose, they're long. There's not actually that much upper body movement towards the back, like maybe say some of the Canadian crews that we had towards the end of Mike Spracklin's era there. But no, the German crew here are also just as equally as good. Both pairs here are rowing extremely well and handling the conditions superbly.
So there's Thies Hagemeister. We spoke about him, dual Dutch and German nationality from Frankfurter Rudergesellschaft, and René Schmela from Berliner Ruderclub. They row on the Wannsee Club, or the Wannsee Lake in Berlin. Beautiful lake there, and that's the club Schmelder's from, and they've got a couple of Olympic representatives, Anton Finger and Moritz Wolf, who are in the German quad bow and stroke preparing for Paris. So proud day for the Berliner Ruderclub, but I tell you what, the Dutch are really stamping their foot down, and they are going, they're high on the rate, Mo. There's no let up from the Dutch pair at all. No,
there's no let up. They don't want to give any opportunity for the Germans to come back. We had a wonderful shot over there of the overhead, and you can see the sterns. You could compare. The Dutch stern is stopping a little bit, but it's staying movement, it's staying alive, whereas the German stern was a little bit snaky, it was a little bit dippy in the water. It's adding resistance. It shows that there's a stop of body weight movement somewhere at the catch, or maybe just not picking the boat up together.
So this Dutch pair have been supported by the Dutch Olympic team, because Nicky van Sprang in the bows, you can see him there closest to us with his cap set back. He is the official spare for the Dutch Olympic rowing team. He can row, he can scull. Krommenhoek in the stroke seat isn't going to Paris as a spare, so I guess this will be his last race of this summer racing season. But Nicky van Sprang is off to join the Dutch team, who are currently training at Hallstatter Zee. They are training low, and as they usually do, they sleep high. It's their altitude training. So the Netherlands on the right, leading the Germans on the left, and there is the back, that distinctive Berlin one-piece of René Schmela, the 26-year-old.
Nicky has an important job. You spoke about him being a reserve or a spare. They are the foundations that the team can do on. So anything can happen during the Paris Games. He might get called up, like you say, in a sculling boat, in a sweep boat, and he has to be ready. So what a great way to get ready, fine-tune his own racing abilities here at Henley Royal Regatta, and then go and join his teammates and support them in the best way he can. I've been with good spares and I've had bad spares, and it's all about their attitude.
I'll tell you what, you couldn't have a better spare than Nicky van Sprang. Guy's amazing, the 31-year-old, fantastic servant to the sport of rowing, and they are absolutely going for it. This is so important to them, and this says a lot about what they missed out on in the Olympic Games. The Dutch pair are going for the line, absolutely everything in it, and they want to go flat out. This is their last ever race, maybe as a pair, and they have done themselves justice. It was something the Germans couldn't match, and you can see the feelings. They rowed together in the Tokyo Olympics. They've tried to mow the Paris Olympics, but they've raced and won the final of the Goblets. and the Germans come across the line.
You can see what that meant to them on the line there. Exactly like you said, Mark.